guys, welcome to the evening class. So the topic of discussion of today is going to be sexual tension. I know that this is like a very not so touched on subject actually, so I think this would be a fun way to kind of open up to the grown and sexy crowd. But no, seriously, I feel like as business women, we tend to kind of just keep going, and we don't, especially when we're in the zone, right? We don't ever really think about sex that much. I mean, now some of us can whistle while we work, if you know what I mean. But some of us, like when we get so in the zone, we don't even think about that, because what you got to understand is women, we can go without. Some have an addiction, and that's a difference. But to the core of it, women can kind of go a long time without having sex. And men, I don't know. Usually I want to open the floor up for men and women, but I don't know, guys. I feel like men, they're so needy when it comes to that. It's like, I need it. But that's only maybe for a select few. Maybe some guys have more discipline than others. But I can only speak for women. So this subject is primarily for us guys. Anyway, so sexual tension. Do you all feel like that plays a role in your when you have like writer's block, or when you have like just the stall, or like when you go through this little period in time where you're just frustrated at everything, you don't want to be touched by nobody, you're like, nah, leave me alone. Like, do you feel like those two have a direct direct correlation? Because I don't know, for me, I feel like I can go without and I'd be fine, because it's been a while anyway for me. So at this point it's like whatever. But I will say I do have my moments where I'm like, yeah, I need it. And it's horrible, but you have to understand, us as women, we have our needs too, and guys are like, it's such a double standard. Like, guys can go out and get whatever they want, and then when a woman is like, oh, I need it too, it's like, she's a little hot pocket. And that's not good either. So it's like, where do you find the balance, right? I really do. I think it's interesting how strong-minded a woman can be when she goes without, though. And that's the subject I really want to touch on, because again, I've been without for a while. Let's just be honest. Let's just be transparent if we're going to talk about this. It's been a while. But what I will say is that going without has really helped me mentally think clearly, and it helps me have better judgment when it comes to people. If you're not focused on just that area, then I think you have a clearer viewpoint on the type of men that you want. So I think that's very interesting, especially being single. Being single in this day and age is it's not as bad as people think. It's really not for me. I feel like being single right now, it makes sense. It makes sense for me, because I'm trying to build something, and I guess that kind of ties back to the business mindset of me. I feel like if I fully commit to my business, I don't know if I can handle being with someone else, because a relationship takes work, it takes time, and I don't know. I don't really feel like being with someone all the time is healthy. So that's just how I feel about it. I don't need to I don't need to I don't need to deal with that, the likes of men. Now, don't get me wrong, I am straight. I think women are beautiful, but I am straight. I'm just saying, I can go without for a really long time. But no, yeah. So being single right now it's very interesting. I feel like it's given me an opportunity to explore what I like as a person, which I really, really like. You know, like when you don't have that counterpart with you, it's like you kind of, you get to explore a little bit. Like, I don't, for the first time in my life, I'm 24 years old. I'm not in a relationship. I don't have any kids. I don't have any real responsibilities right now. I can just do whatever it is that I want to do, and I think I love that. I love my freedom. I love my independence. And another thing is, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. There's a difference. There's a huge difference, actually. I don't personally feel lonely. Like, even though I'm single, you know, even though I'm single, I don't feel lonely. I don't feel like I need someone here to help me to survive. Are you kidding me? No. I am so not. I've never been that type of person, though. Like, don't get me wrong. When I am in a relationship, I feel like I am, how can I put this? When I'm in a relationship, I'm very focused on that person. My energy is very closed off to other people. For real. I mean, I can be very closed off. Meaning, I may kick it with you, I may talk to you, you know, we may here and there, but my heart, where I am, is always going to be with that person. So, you know, I think that's a part of growing up, because I feel like when you're younger, you tend to kind of slip in terms of commitment, in terms of being loyal, in terms of, you know, being with just one person. It's like you put on this show and this facade, and you're like, oh, I'm fine. I don't have anyone else, babe. All the while you in high school, you got a junior, you got a freshman, you got a, you know? But I think that just comes with being young. You're exploring your options. Now, you know, this topic can really go a couple of different ways, because you have to take into consideration the people who first lose their virginities. They become like little puppy dogs to their man. They're so attached. For me, listen, I did not lose my vajayjay. I didn't pop my cherry until I graduated high school. It didn't. It was, I didn't find anybody in my high school really, and they just weren't my type. Like, I've dated people in my high school, don't get me wrong, but in terms of going that far, I was like, nah, because it was too many people around me who was doing it just for sport, it almost looked like. So I was never that type of girl. I was never that type of chick. I was like, okay, all of you guys, I will be cool with you. I kept a whole lot of friends. Like, I was very open. I was very open with my friendships, and I was cool with just about everybody. Like, everybody who knew me loved me. But, I mean, everybody also knew what line not to cross, either. It wasn't sex for me. It was, well, hey. That's how I was. It was like, I get some of that. But sex was not on the agenda. And another thing too is I had a fear of getting pregnant. I still kind of have a fear of getting pregnant, you know. But it's only still because I'm still so young. I'm young and I'm not on birth control. So that's terrible. That is terrible, but it's legit. I honestly feel like at the end of the day, I'm not into that. I'm not into just having sex with just anybody, because sex for me is not just sex. It's everything leading up to sex that does it for me. You get me? So, I don't know, guys. I think in terms of sexual tension, it can kind of fog your judgment of someone, especially if you're like really, really horny. But I think it's all about discipline, man. I mean, at the core of it, that's what it comes to. Discipline. Are you disciplined enough? Are you disciplined enough to go without? Because, sometimes as women, we need to detach from that. Like, when a man has your mind, that's one thing. But once he has your mind and your body, you gone. You gone. People do crazy things for love. So you have to be careful on who you give that type of energy to. Make them work for it, ladies. Make them work for it. Make them work for the, you know what I mean? You need to let them work for it, because men so easily can walk down the street and get a piece of ass. So, in my opinion, if that's the case, then us as women have to step up. What we have to understand is we always have the power. Y'all may have the ball, but we have the court. And it's just true. Majority of what men do is fueled by a woman is behind it. Majority. Not all things. And it's not all men. Some men are more disciplined than others, like I said. But at the core of it, like I said, y'all may have the ball, but we have the court. That's why I say, if we step up and raise our standards, the men will be forced to step up and meet us where we are, or they'll fall off the face of the earth. And I'm just saying, guys, that's just how I feel about the whole sex thing. But I don't know. Sexual tension can be hell. It can be hell. But at some point you actually get to a point where it's like, I can go without. I'm fine. I mean, if it's been this long, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I don't know. But how do you all feel about it? Like, what do you feel like sexual tension is for you? It can be a number of different things. It doesn't even have to necessarily be a feeling, or it can be just pent up energy, just anger. And it comes out in different ways too. It comes out in different ways. Like when you're sexually frustrated, it can show up in like how you approach other people. It can show up in your anger. It can show up in you're overly emotional. You're overly angry. You're just like on pins and needles, and you're like, God, what is this? Why? You're sexually frustrated. And it's okay, guys. But here's what I want to explain too. You have the power to actually make that happen for yourself. And what kind of tends to happen growing up is it's frowned upon for women to pleasure ourselves, right? And it's frowned upon because that's typically where the man is supposed to come in. If nothing else, if they can't do anything else, that's where the man is supposed to come in, right? But to show up for yourself in that way, I think that's a beautiful ability. It was always harder for me because I became dependent on a man to take that role. So I think all of this kind of ties to intimacy, as well as just who you are as an individual, man. Honestly, sexual tension is a real thing. When you're like sexually frustrated, it's just build up. It can be explosive. Like I said, I have gone without for a minute now, so I'm at this place where it's like, whatever's Peppa. But I don't know. I protect my energy in that way, because you're not just anybody has access to my energy. Not just anybody has access to me. I think if you think you're gonna get in between this, oh, you better be on your game, your A game. and then some. For real. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I can't put it any other way. You guys, it's almost like you guys expect it. And I think that's pretty disgusting. But it all ties back to us as women, right? We need to show up and start demanding more. If you are okay with just chicken wings and french fries for a date, then he gonna show up and give you some chicken wings and some french fries and then get between them legs and then get up and leave. Hello? Come on now. Set your standard, ladies, is what I'm saying. Set your standards on who it is that you want to come into your life and who it is you want to come in between that. You understand me? Not everybody needs to have access to that type of energy for you. Okay, we need to understand that sexual tension is a part of being a woman. Being in your sexual side, acknowledging that it's a part of being a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. We just kind of get frowned upon when we do express ourselves in that way, because men have came in and like, oh, that's my job. What? I think being able to pleasure yourself in every aspect, not just sexual, I think that that's a gift. I think that's the biggest gift that you can give yourself as a woman. Learning how to nurture and take care of yourself and raising your standards so that you're not attracting the same type of guys. It's one thing to just open yourself up emotionally or mentally, but it's another thing to open yourself up to that in that sexual way, because it's a transfer of energies. It's a transfer of energies. That's why for me, I feel like the sexual tension, I can do without. I mean, I've just learned how to master discipline in that area. And my yoga and my meditation, it helps. But seriously, like, I'm very picky and choosy with who I allow to come into my energy field. I don't believe that just because I'm sexually frustrated, I just need to let Tom, Rick, Jerry, no. No. I have standards. I am a woman. And as a woman, I believe that once you set the standard, the right man will meet you where you are. So it's okay to have sexual tension. It's okay to be sexually frustrated. But I feel like releasing that into different avenues, like expressing yourself in different ways, I think you can use that tension to kind of push you forward. I think that that's beautiful. Honestly, that's just my opinion, though. I want to open the floor up for you guys to let me know how you feel about it. I think sexual tension it's natural, but I think this quarantine also has helped a lot of people see people for who they really are. So a lot of people came out of this quarantine single. Have you noticed that? A lot of people came out of this quarantine single. It's like, nah, I know your sneakiness now. I know what's up. I've been around you for too long. And that's crazy. But, yeah, I feel like between the sexual tension and being single, I feel like it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be right now because I get to explore my options. So, it may be different for you guys, but for me, I think that there's so much out here. I want to travel. I want to experience different cultures. So, I don't have to necessarily limit myself to just one person. And honestly, until you put a ring on my finger, See, that's the thing too. Us as women, we tend to give the wifely duties without demanding them to actually be a husband. You take care of a man, you let him do whatever it is that they want to do, And then you wonder why at the end of the day he's not reciprocating. Why would I have to? Why would a man have to step up and do anything for you if you're already doing everything that I want you to do without me giving you a title? Why? It's interesting how we tend to bash men for what it is and their behavior. But we don't stop to realize that a man will only do what you allow. So, if nothing else, we gotta point the finger back at ourselves and understand that we need to raise our own standards. If you keep attracting the same type of guy and keep allowing people to come in and come out, if you know what I mean, then it's not about the man himself. A man is gonna do what a man is gonna do. It's about you as an individual. What are you gonna do to heal so that you stop attracting the same type of people? It's okay to you know, be hurt, but it's not okay to continuously doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're going to get a different result. That is insanity. That's insane. So if you want better, you have to step up and demand more. At the core of it, that's my message for you. Step up and demand more. And that's a hard pill to swallow also. Because people are your mirrors. I say this all the time. People are your mirrors. If you take a good look at your circle and the people that are around you and figure out what it is that you like and that you don't like about them, you can always relate that back to you. I don't like what he does. I don't like what she does. It's because at one point you did it. If you want honesty, you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to you. You do it. So instead of you bashing them, why don't you take a second to recognize your own flaws and figure out what it would look like for you to heal and be better. If you want better, you have to become better. So accountability, people. Accountability. I think it's a beautiful thing that us as women, we do have the upper hand when it comes to our sexuality, when it comes to, you know, feeling sexy, being single, being confident in that, and having our own independence. But it's still, you know, it's still an ever-growing process. Just because you are single or just because you aren't with someone right now doesn't mean that that door just has to be closed. I think that if you're very open to understanding how and what parts of you need to heal, then you will start to attract better. And it's okay. It's okay to be single. You don't have to have someone up under you all the time. I think the best move that anybody could do is be silent and be still. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do, is be still. If you're always jumping from person to person without giving yourself some healing time in between, it's like you're jumping from one problem to the next. Or really you're just jumping from person to person. The problem is still the same, but you're just jumping to a new face, but the same spirit. That's not fair to you. If you to truly love yourself is to be disciplined enough to say no, to be patient. You get me? So I'm just really appreciative that I have gone through the things that I've gone through at a really young age. Because I haven't been treated right. I think we've all have our backstories, but I haven't been, I'm a good person. And people tend to take that and run with it. You feel me? But I'm grateful that I went through the lessons that I went through at a young age, because it's made me more aware, self-aware, and just, it's made me understand people a little bit better. You know, hurt people. So, you know, just because they're hurt, they want to hurt other people. But it's the same on the flip side of it too. Successful people, or like good people tend to want to spread that, which is where I'm at. My energy is at a good place. I feel like at the core of it, I just want to see people succeed. So I want to spread that. I don't want to spread hurt. I don't want to spread pain. There's enough of that in this world. But I will protect my energy. You get me? So let's just, I'll stop there for today. But I want you guys to really be a part of just getting a better routine going for yourself, a better routine going for your life, and just starting this journey of self-discovery and creating a difference, creating a gap, bridging that gap actually on the change you want to see for yourself. That's what I'm offering. That's what my classes are. An opportunity for you to discover you in a different way, in a different light. If you want to achieve different, you have to do different things. So my end goal is to spread more love, more peace, and help you to find different ways to incorporate that for yourself. Okay, so we'll end it there, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for our evening class, and we'll continue the discussion there. Have a good day, guys.